After a 4-year-long wait, the popular Driv3r series finally returned in 2004 with Driv3r. Once again, taking on the role of Tanner, an undercover cop, you are to complete a series of shooting and driving missions across 3 major cities. The game pretty much follows the same basic formula of the last 2 games, apart from the shooting, which is a new addition here. The campaign itself isn't too bad, but can often get overly long and repetitive, with the story itself being very easy to lose track of. Despite the previous game including the ability to leave your car, this time they really push it by including levels devoted entirely to third-person shooting. I think the shooting is a nice addition, but missions shouldn't be totally reliant on this. They really ought to have kept it to a minimum here. Then there's the controls. It's never really bothered me too much, but unlike other free roaming games of the time, Reflection seemed to have picked an odd controller setup for the levels on foot. This can make it very hard to move around at times and avoid being shot. But seriously guys, get over yourselves. It's a game that came out nearly 10 years ago, and for the amount you'd be buying it for now, it's well worth a go. Despite the graphics not aging too well by today's standards, it's clear that they went through a lot of effort to make the maps as accurate as possible to the real places. Personally, I'd say that this alone denies the game of any rating below 6 out of 10. So what about the driving then? Well, to be honest, I've never had any major complaints about it. The controls are pretty basic, I suppose, and the cars do have notable differences in the way they handle. I think the only problem is the physics of the crashes. Which can be unrealistic at times considering the weight and material of the car. But then again, I suppose this can be quite amusing at times. The vehicles themselves are still quite detailed and a good variety of them are provided. From sports cars, motorbikes, boats, lorries, tankers with removable loads, and even a forklift truck and a go-kart. Ignoring the campaign for a minute, I'd say the most enjoyable part of the gameplay is the take a ride option. This is simply a free roaming option in the same cities as the campaign, but with no actual tasks. Despite this, there are still some nice little gimmicks to keep you entertained on your travels, such as the ability to control lifting bridges, stunt ramps, escaping the police, finding secret cars, safe houses, a go-kart race, having to defeat the occasional rogue pedestrian, and even finding and killing the 10 cleverly hidden assassins in the maps. By doing this you also achieve certain unlocks, so there's still quite a lot of fun to be had. The guns are all pretty good too, and whoever came up with the idea of having a grenade launcher in the game needs a knighthood. The unique film director mode allowing you to go back and edit your replay is also quite a cool feature, as is the additional driving game section too. So overall, it's not quite as good as GTA or Just Cause, but it's still a solid effort, and for the price you'd be paying for it today, it's worth giving a shot.